Hello everybody, welcome to yet another week of EdPsych. You're probably getting to the point now where you're like, when will this end? Or maybe you're getting really excited because it's starting to get cool. So this last week you went through lesson 2, which I know was a lot of work, but hopefully you found the value in that. Metacognition and self-regulation are some of the most important skills that we can teach our students, and I loved watching your discussion taking place on the discussion board. You'll notice I'm kind of hanging back from those and not participating very much. And the reason behind that is because you are doing so awesome on them. And I like seeing your collaboration and your commitment to each other. I didn't feel you needed me to step in, so it's pretty cool. But keep that up. I think it's fantastic, and I'll go ahead and archive that for you and post it in an announcement here coming up so that you have access to that in the future if you want it. Okay, so again, you should have finished lesson 2 and or lesson 12, depending on where you ended up schedule-wise, on Monday evening. So that also meant that you should have submitted your self-assessment and your portfolio. And again, those are your best drafts. I'm going to take a look at those over the weekend and give you feedback, and I will give you a grade on those, but you can revise them and resubmit them. So feel free to do that. These are our first assessments, so I want you to have every chance possible to kind of revise and grow when it comes to assessment. I really don't want any of my students to go out there and give out crappy assessments. So it's in my best interest and in yours to give you some feedback and help you become better at this very important skill. So again, self-assessment, portfolio, those should have been turned in this week. If you're working in a group, you only need to submit one per group. If you would like to work in a group but haven't found one yet, let me know and I can help you out with that as much as possible. Okay? Hopefully that was a nice chance for you to see, okay, we're supposed to help kids develop metacognition and self-regulation. How can we do that? Well, we can give them self-assessments, and we can have them create portfolios and then reflect on what they've learned. Those are two great kind of key assessment types and assignments that we can use to help our students develop those vital skills. So going forward, we're going to be doing lesson 3 this week, which is on theories of intelligence and theories of motivation. So there is a discussion board again that's part of this lesson, and it's kind of a two-parter, so maybe just kind of watch the formatting this week a little bit. Part of the discussion board is about your definition of intelligence, what that word means, and how your definition, though it may seem like a really simple thing, could impact your treatment of your students and your interactions with them. Also, from the flip side, how a student's definition of intelligence might impact his or her motivation to participate in your classroom. And then as we move forward into talking about motivation, how are we going to motivate these kids? This is a tough subject for secondary educators, and we're going to revisit it a lot throughout this class because trying to engage them is one of the most important things that we do. So we're going to look at the use of extrinsic motivators, what might you give them or entice them with, but hopefully and preferably, how can you get them excited about what you're learning? How can you incite their intrinsic motivation? And we do have a tipper question that goes along with this. If you've been working on that, on getting your field experience and starting to maybe write some of those responses, Question 9 is asking you, how are the school and or the teacher that you're working with using extrinsic motivators, and how are they trying to incite intrinsic motivation in the students to participate in class? So I'd like you really thinking about that. Extrinsic's kind of easy to see when teachers use it. They're using, rewards, or they're using grades as a carrot, or those kinds of things, flex time, keys to success. But on the other hand, the intrinsic ones can be harder for people to think of because intrinsic motivation is typically inside someone. We're talking about how can you as a teacher or how can the school incite or encourage that intrinsic motivation, the love of what we're doing. And we can do that by making school a wonderful, safe, welcome place to be. We can use motivational sayings. We can make instruction engaging and fun and interesting and relevant. So there are a lot of ways that we can start to motivate kids that don't involve punishment and that don't involve rewards. So that's kind of what we're looking at for Tipper question 9, looking at those two issues. You'll also have an assessment that you'll create this week. Luckily for you, it's really easy. So, wow, I don't know why I'm talking like that. Okay, so it's called the CAT class feedback. This is an opportunity for your students to give you feedback about the class. What do they like about the class? What are they not liking? What could be changed to help them learn better? So they're kind of evaluating you or flipping it around a little bit. I've got some very clear ideas for what you might do for these. They're not meant to be difficult or tricky or long. This is one of the easier assessments that you'll do, so that's good news. I'll try to post a few examples of those this week for you from students in past semesters. I've got a few that I use as well, so I'll post a few up for you. Okay, so that means you've got lesson 3. Within that, you've got that discussion board that kind of has 2 parts, so just watch for it. You've got the CAT class feedback. Those should be the only 2 like mega assignments that are coming out of that lesson. I was really happy to see some of you stopping by this week, getting some help from me. I am your teacher. I'm not just some online avatar, although my mini-me is cute, huh? But I really am here to help you, and I want to be of help to you. So please feel free to stop by at any time. And also feel free to keep working on getting your approval forms in. I know it can be hard to get those back from teachers and principals. I'll take those without docking you any points. Just try to get them to me as soon as possible so that I know you have approval to be in the schools. Okay? All right, I think that's it. I'll post some resources, including the discussion board archive from this last week, and then I'll get you some examples of the CAT class feedback here pretty quickly too. Thanks, guys.